Ferrari, the prancing horse with the fiercest fans, lit up 2022 like a Roman candle. Leading both F1 championships, they had Red Bull eating dust. Then, bam, disaster struck. Red Bull stormed past, hooking both titles while Ferrari crashed and burned. From Monaco's pit lane circus to the Dutch GP's tire fiasco, Ferrari's 2022 was a masterclass in choking. Let's rip into the chaos, from engine meltdowns to marketing missteps, and see how the Tifosi's dreams got wrecked.
Hamilton already trying to get past Carlos Sainz, but it's Leclerc on the inside ahead of Verstappen. Carlos Sainz stays in third, Perez on the inside now with Lewis Hamilton.
Ferrari kicked off 2022 like they owned the track. Their F175, a beast with a 1.6-liter V6 turbo hybrid pumping out 990 horsepower, tore through Bahrain and Australia. Charles Leclerc was untouchable, grabbing wins in both races, while Carlos Sainz backed him up for a sweet 1-2 finish in Bahrain. That car hugged low-speed corners like a dream, though it wobbled a bit when things got fast. Fans on X lost their minds, posting stuff like, "Ferrari's back, baby," and flooding feeds with red heart emojis.
Lap 17, and the fastest lap of this race goes to Max Verstappen, who's going now for the lead of the race, and in a shower of sparks, makes his way into turn one ahead of Charles Leclerc.
After Australia, Leclerc was sitting pretty 46 points ahead in the Drivers' Championship, and Ferrari had a 40-point lead in Constructors. It felt like the glory days were here again, with the Tifosi dreaming of ending that title drought since 2008. Leclerc's smooth moves and Sainz's spirit had everyone droning, and the F175's sleek design, red as ever, looked unstoppable under those desert lights. Social media was a party, with clips of Leclerc's Bahrain burnout going viral. Nobody was talking about Red Bull catching up, not yet. For those early weeks, Ferrari was the king of the grid, and the world was painted Ferrari red. Next up, we have May 2022, Monaco's tight streets, and Ferrari felt big time. Charles Leclerc was cruising from pole, looking like a hometown hero, when the team called him and Carlos Sainz for a double-stack pit stop. Big mistake. They misread Sergio Perez's slick move to intermediates, undercutting both Ferraris. The gap between Leclerc and Sainz was a measly 3.5 seconds, way too close for a smooth doppio stop.
It's a Ferrari double pit stop. They're going for slicks.
Sainz got out okay, snagging second, but Leclerc, stuck behind, he dropped to fourth. You could hear his frustration crackling over the radio, yelling about the mess, per ESPN.
And box now, box now, box for hard.
Strategy boss Inaki Rueda later admitted they underestimated Perez's pace, and that tiny gap screwed them. The Monaco crowd, drenched but hyped, groaned as Perez stole the win. Leclerc's dream of a home victory, his first in Monaco, slipped away like rain down the track. Sainz fought hard, but couldn't catch Perez's Red Bull, thanks to a sluggish outlap. The whole scene was chaos, with the pit crew scrambling and tires stacking up wrong. Sky Sports F1 caught every second of the blunder, from Leclerc's delayed stop to his angry voice. Next, there was the time when the Dutch Grand Prix in September 2022 was supposed to be damage control for Ferrari after a string of missteps. Instead, it turned into one of their most embarrassing moments of the season. Carlos Sainz pulled into the pits on lap 15, expecting a routine tire change. What he got was a total disaster. The crew wasn't ready. The rear left tire wasn't even at the pit box when the car arrived. Everyone scrambled, the clock kept ticking, and when it was over, the stop had taken 12.7 painful seconds.
Carlos Sainz is coming in for Ferrari. It's the shortest pit lane, I think, of the season. Can they get to work nice and speedily down at Ferrari? That seems to be held for quite some time, and they had to hold it.
In Formula One, that's not just slow, it's a nightmare. To make matters worse, the team sent Sainz out into traffic unsafely, which earned him a 5-second penalty. That, combined with the awful pit stop, dropped him down to 8th place. And this wasn't the first head-scratcher of the weekend. During qualifying, Ferrari slapped intermediates on Charles Leclerc's car while the track was bone dry. That bizarre tire call wrecked his chances of a better grid position. By the end of the race, Ferrari had handed more points to Red Bull, who continued to stretch their lead in the Constructors' Championship. 596 to Ferrari's 406. These weren't mechanical failures or freak weather incidents. These were entirely self-inflicted wounds. Strategy, preparation, and communication all broke down when it mattered most. Ferrari's 2022 collapse wasn't just about a few bad pit stops. It was a full-blown systems failure that started at the top and bled into every part of the team. The reliability issues alone were brutal.
One Minerale.
That's how racing is now. When you cut fast, you need to let fast. This is a joke. What did I do wrong?
After the Belgian Grand Prix, they had to dial down the F175's power output to avoid another blowout, costing them around 0.6 seconds per lap. That's a lifetime in F1 terms. Charles Leclerc's engine failure in Spain while leading the race? Devastating. Then came grid penalties in Canada and Austria because they kept cycling through engine components like candy. It wasn't bad luck. It was poor design and poor planning.
Well, can you explain the strategy today for us watching?
I don't know yet. I mean, we need to speak with the team and understand the thought behind putting the hard, because I felt very strong on the medium. Everything was under control, and yeah, for some reason I don't know what we did to go on the hard, so I don't know.
Then there's the strategy. Hungary was a disaster. Leclerc was leading, looking solid. Then Ferrari inexplicably put him on hard tires while everyone else was on softs or mediums. The car lost all pace, and he dropped from first to sixth. In Silverstone, everyone else pitted under the safety car. Ferrari left Leclerc out. He went from controlling the race to getting eaten alive. It gets worse. Red Bull didn't just outperform Ferrari, they outspent them smarter too. Ferrari pulled the plug on developing the F175 mid-season, blaming the budget cap. Meanwhile, Red Bull kept rolling out upgrades and refining their car, especially in straight-line speed and tire degradation, which were Ferrari's weaknesses all year. The leadership vacuum was obvious. There was no Ross Brawn-like figure calling the shots. Strategy calls felt like groupthink gone wrong, slow, indecisive, and reactionary. Mattia Binotto tried to play it cool in press conferences, but the cracks showed. The numbers told the real story. From leading both championships early on to finishing second with 554 points in Constructors, 214 behind Red Bull. That's not just a drop, that's a nosedive. Ferrari's 2022 F1 implosion wasn't just a racing story. It had real financial teeth. Right after the Monaco fiasco, where they botched strategy on home hero Leclerc, Ferrari's stock, RACE, slipped 4.8% according to Yahoo. That wasn't just a reaction to a bad weekend. It signaled investor anxiety about how racing failures could ripple across Ferrari's larger luxury brand. Sponsorship pressure mounted too. HP, reportedly putting in $20 million annually, and Shell with a $30 million a year partnership, weren't exactly thrilled watching Ferrari spiral on Sundays. Fewer podiums meant fewer victory photos, less brand visibility, and more awkward executive calls. Even die-hard fans, the Tifosi, started showing signs of protest. Monza events saw attendance drop by 10% compared to 2021, a major blow in their backyard. Merch sales? Software. When Tifosi aren't buying, that's more than a red flag. It's a warning siren. On the automotive side, the irony couldn't be louder. Ferrari shipped 13,221 cars in 2022, a record, raking in 5.1 billion euros in revenue, an 18.5% jump. But the F1 team's failure deflated some of that buzz. Ferrari doesn't just sell cars, it sells mythology. Winning on track fuels showroom desire. When that narrative cracks, even a shiny V12 can't fix it. Binotto stepping down at the end of the season didn't help the mood. Shareholders wanted accountability. Fans wanted change. the mood at Maranello was far from celebratory. Ferrari might still be a luxury powerhouse, but in 2022, their racing identity, the heart of the brand, took a brutal hit. Ferrari's 2022 was a gut punch. From Bahrain's high to Monaco's double-stack disaster, Dutch GP's pit farce, and Leclerc's Monza flop, they threw away a championship. Red Bull's 759 points crushed Ferrari's 554. Verstappen's 454 dwarfed Leclerc's 308. Shoddy strategy, dying engines, and budget woes sealed their fate. The Tifosi deserved better. Can Ferrari fix the chaos for 2023, or is this 2018 all over again? You won't believe what's next.